What's going on, everybody? Adrian Hunter, Pipe Dream Hookah. Another video review in the Rami High Desert Smoke, Yucca Valley, California video series review. This one's going to be on, you can probably read, so the thumbnail and the title probably include that this is on the horchata flavor. And if you're new to this series I'm doing, then you might have not seen the Azure dark reviews just yet. So just a heads up, I do repackage this. It comes in a bag. I'm not a big fan of that because then you have to get your fingers messy and then you have to wash your hands like way more times than you want to during the whole process of packing a bowl. So I do repackage it. That's going to be a nice quick shotgun style review like we always do in these series type videos, especially for tobaccos, going over the scent, cloud output, flavor, and a few other things that go into how this tobacco performs. And a little thing I wanted to just go over very quickly, I did get some Zomo flavors from Rami. And the Zomo flavors I actually will not be able to review, as Zomo has revamped a lot of their flavors for the American market, and these Zomo flavors are from the old Brazilian style Zomo tobacco, and they use a lot of menthol down there, so I actually can't accurately review them because what you guys will be picking up for the Zomo flavors isn't what they'll be selling to us here in the States. That said, let's go ahead and crack this Viva La Horchata, their horchata flavor, up and see what it smells like. Yeah, that's potent. I believe I've already done the horchata review for Tangier's horchata, but maybe I haven't. But for anyone who's maybe had Tangier's horchata, this is going to be much sweeter and much more pronounced, and it's not going to smell tobacco-y at all. If you don't know what horchata is, it's like a cinnamon and rice drink typically served for dessert. I think it's a Mexican thing. Don't quote me, but I'm like 85% sure it's a Mexican culture type of beverage that you can enjoy. It smells exactly like that. The most prominent flavor or scent or smell in the scent is going to be cinnamon. I think I can pick it up on some nutmeg and some other general creamy notes. Let's see if they translate into the taste. Of course, after we go over the cloud output of this tobacco, real quick setup. White matte pear, I know, surprise, surprise. Lately, this is all I've been using. Neolux base on the bottom, matching hose. What is this? The Sunpipe mouth tip, and up top I got an 80 feet resurrection bowl, Provost on top with 3 Prestige coconut jumbo flats inside of it. Lid is crooked. Let's see if this stuff can produce clouds. That almost worked. Clouds are outstanding, nothing to complain about. Azure Dark has always delivered here for me, and if you've picked it up and you pack it correctly, if you don't know how to pack it, it's pretty simple. I will have a method coming soon for it. It's very simple. You don't want to pack it too dense like Tangier's, you want it like in a semi-dense pack. I'll explain that in a video coming to you soon. But yeah, clouds are going to be great. Let's do the flavor profile on both the inhale and the exhale. As I'm obviously doing a review for you guys, I want you to get as much information as possible out of this, this flavor profile test. So we'll start with the inhale. Azure is definitely one of those brands where they do like an outstanding job of making it taste just like it smells for the most part, and this is absolutely kind of the epitome of that. It's gonna taste exactly like a horchata flavor. It's gonna be very saturated, very cinnamony. There is some throat kick, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but that kind of ties in with the inhale, so that exists. And it coats your palate. It's definitely a very saturated flavor on the inhale. And before we can move on, we gotta check out the exhale to see if anything changes. On the exhale, as opposed to getting that really saturated sweet cinnamon flavor, very, very true to horchata, a lot of those cream kind of, I don't want to call them vanilla, but they're definitely a sweet cream note, kind of hits you on the back of your tongue on the way out, and it's very smooth. It's not quite as sweet, but the flavor profile, other than that like change in the cinnamon levels going down and those creamy notes coming up a little bit, it remains mostly unchanged. It's going to be pretty consistent between the inhale and the exhale. A few other things about Azure Dark. The first one is it's not very beginner friendly, and when I say that I mean Azure Dark is a punchy flavor. It definitely has some throat kick to it, and it's not a burning feeling. It's almost like that feeling of nicotine in the back of your throat. It's kind of a throat punch as opposed to a throat tickle. Typically, if it tickles a little bit, you might be burning it or something, but this is definitely potent. So I keep that in mind, and to go with all that extra nicotine punch in the back of the throat, this is gonna buzz you quite a bit if you're not an experienced smoker. Azure Dark is one of the brands that still buzzes me. I'm buzzing a little bit right now, and yes, I have eaten. And yes, I am properly hydrated. This is my 4th glass of iced tea. And then a few other quick things we always touch on before we end these reviews is going to be how well does it take heat. Azure takes heat as long as you don't overcook it. These 3 Prestige Jumbo Flats would probably be scorching my tobacco if the Provost was all the way on. So I keep that in mind. If you're not going to use something like a Provost, I just use the same amount of flats, 3 cubes, well not, I wouldn't use 3 cubes, 3 flats, kind of on the edges, making a triangle around the bowl. And if it starts to heat up too much, I'd Stonehenge one of them, which is where you take the coal and turn it up on its side. How long is it going to burn for? Probably a solid hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. This is a sweet flavor, and I find that the sweet flavors start to lose some of their flavor maybe a little bit faster than the more, I don't know, earthy kind of floral or spiced flavors. So keep that in mind. And then, is there anything else I want to go over about this flavor? No, not really. Solid flavor, and I do have a few more of the, well, I guess first we'll have to rate it on the 7 scale, like we do over here on Pipe Dream Hookah. It's gonna get a solid 6 out of 7 for me. It's not gonna touch a 7 out of 7 because I really reserve that for flavors that I either find like it's one of my favorite type of flavor profiles and a brand nails it, or it's just like a flavor that maybe I don't even like candy flavors, but it's a candy flavor and it blew my mind. That's where you're gonna get 7 out of 7s. It's not gonna go below that because it performs as well as any other Azure dark flavor, which all perform awesome, and it's very true to its name, and it's got awesome heat tolerance. It burns for a long time. It's got a little bit of a head buzz. Everything is solid on this tobacco. Really quick on the Rami High Desert Smoke series review videos. There are definitely going to be a few more. There are some flavors that I haven't gone over yet, so I definitely want to get those reviews out to you guys. But I have some other projects on this channel that I'm working on, so it's probably going to be one of those things where I just do them as I can. You'll probably notice that I haven't really touched on the Alfaka or the Starbucks series as much, and the Tangier series is starting soon too. So I'm kind of getting those planned out. We're kind of busy over at the AM Hookah Podcast. If you haven't checked us out, link in the description. It's a podcast where we talk all about hookah. Just this week on Monday, we talked to Shady from over at Hooked on Hookah, and I would definitely recommend checking them out. We actually have a 30% discount code on for like the next week. I'll leave a link to that, and I will leave what the discount code is in the description of this video. That way you guys can get 30% off, which is a pretty big discount. And then we have all kinds of cool stuff over at the podcast. There's gonna probably be another video on this channel that's maybe not a review or something. It's gonna be, I'll just explain it here because the more exposure the better. There's some laws trying to be passed. I think it's either in Congress or the Senate or something. I'm not fully read up, I still gotta do my reading. But our friends over at Hookah University have gotten a hold of some really big brand's lawyer, and we're going to be talking with them about those bills, and we're going to have an extended conversation about it. So over on the AM Hookah Podcast, Mr. Chris Fernandez from over at Hookah University is taking over our show for that Monday, and I would highly recommend you guys come check it out if you don't know what's going on, because I think that with everyone being educated, as long as we stay banded together and speak our minds to the people trying to change these rules, we will be okay. But if everyone stays quiet like they have been for the last, I don't know, 6 years, there's a very real chance that you won't be able to buy tobacco on the internet anymore. So keep that in mind. If you stayed till this late in the video, thank you very much. But that said, I think that's all I got for this review. See you in the next review. The next video, again, probably won't be a review. Sorry for that, but this is kind of important upkeep management stuff for what we do over here in the hookah smoking community. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, happy smoking.